What up? What up? What up? What's going on, family? What's going on? I pray that you guys had a great weekend, church on Sunday, kicking it with your family on Saturday, and I hope you tuned in to what went down right here on Friday. We had a great time talking to Pastor Antoine Graves. We had an awesome time talking with Pastor Rodriguez from my hometown. So, with that being said, this is an open forum night. We're just doing something. Y'all know if you've been following me, we came out with the book Unleashed last week, Awakening Your Prophetic Voice. I'm telling you, this thing been really going. I mean, literally. I'm very excited about what I've been seeing. Selling these on Amazon, guys. It's been you guys really been blessing me. I'm so serious. You guys really been surprising me. It's probably one of the best selling books that we had thus far, other than the ones we sold on our own here at the church. So just selling them on Amazon and you guys are purchasing them and different people. I really thank you so much. So go there right now, Amazon, get the guidebook and get the companion that goes with it, and then get the prayers that unleash, and then you know what? Get the unleashed prayer journal because I'm telling you, I need to write now because uh, I'm gonna talk about this in a minute, but I need to write because this right here, since I put this out here, this has been a blessing, and I really want to have all of our members at Inspired Word Ministries to start journaling their prayers or journaling whatever God said. So that's why we kind of wrote this right here for everybody, and then in our ministry. So, but we put it out for everybody. So it's the Unleashed Prayer, prophetic prayer journal. So I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. Again, I want to thank everyone who went to Amazon and began to purchase. So if you want to go get this here and study this, it's a great lesson if you want to know how to open up your prophetic ears in the season that you're in. The Unleash Awakening Your Prophetic Voice was suitable for you guys. Even if you're a seasoned prophet, it's going to be information in here that you're going to be able to utilize. So tonight, what I want to really do is just open this floor up and just say, hey, any fivefold minister, anyone, I'm inviting you guys in. Just let me know, inbox me on the Facebook page. I will send you a link. You'll be able to jump right into this. So now this is the time for all those African pastors from Kenya and everywhere else that always call me on the phone. Today, if you wants to get in and talk with me live on this air, now you can. You just have to inbox me. You gotta inbox me. If you don't inbox me, I can't get you. I'm gonna actually go to my messages so that anyone that inbox me, I will be able to send you a link, and I'll be able to bring you in and we can talk. You can share what you're looking for. What are you looking for in Africa? What are you in need? What are you in prayer of? Right. So that would be what's going on tonight, along with whatever else you guys want to do. Anyone popping in want to talk about anything in the news you want to talk about. Just an open forum tonight. And of course, me personally, I'm just a prophetic person who would love to just talk about prophetic things all the time and what it looks like, what it's like to be a prophet in the church, in the local church today, which I kind of changed it from saying local church to really suit the verbiage for today. I call it the contemporary, prophetic contemporary. So it's more how we can blend and bring in unity the church era of today with the prophetic and how it's supposed to look or it should look. And that's why we wrote the book, Apostolic Prophetic Shifters, so you'll know what to look for in a church or a ministry and everything. So I've been drinking this soda. This is pretty bad. Don't do it. So number one, let me tell you about a dream I had a few years ago. A real prophetic dream. It was very it wasn't scary, but it was enlightening. Like it just made me aware. Okay, so I think this is 2024. I think this was when Donald Trump was just getting out of office and Biden was being sworn in at that time. And I had this dream, and at the dream, I was at the White House outside the gate. And when I was outside the gate, I could see inside of the fence, and then I could see the White House, right? And I could see there was a little balcony there. And on that in that room, and I saw Donald Trump. He was the president again. And what happened was he was smoking a cigar, and he walked out on the balcony smoking a cigar at the White House. And there were people outside of the gate that was protesting, and there were church people. There were pastors and leaders, and they were all outside this gate, and there was yelling at him, at the president, at Donald Trump at the time. And Donald Trump did something with his hands and in the dream, and all of a sudden the army came for the people that was at the gate, which was Christians, and start locking them up. Just start locking everybody up. Just start locking them up. And then I saw the church. Fall, like the building, just fall down the building. Because there's a church over there outside of the White House gate. Actually, that church fell down. So I woke up. I didn't know what it meant. I had no idea that Donald Trump would even actually try to run for president again. I'm not saying he's going to be the president. I'm just saying that in my vision or my dream, I saw him in the White House, and from it was persecution of protesters and people. Now, and I know there was church people because they all had Bibles in their hands, and they were screaming and yelling with the Bibles in their hands. So it's a lot. That's a lot to unpack, right? So I was really not shocked by it. So when Donald Trump started trying to run for president, now I was like, wow, okay, so it's a lot going on. And they're really, really fighting this man to keep him from getting in the White House again. So I want to say this to you guys. The end time that we're in, we've been in. Now, I'm about to say something to you. Y'all gonna have to go do some research about it. The end time that we've been in. And if you've been following your revelation word, you will literally see that we are in it. We in the thick of it, right? So let me share something. I don't know how many years ago, there was something going on in the earth. It was something so unordinary, just really just weird, right? And what it was, that there was sounds protruding from the earth. There was just sounds of trumpets. I don't know if y'all remember this. You can barely find it on the internet now, but when it was going on, people all over the world was freaking out. So before that happened, there were these lights in the sky that was flying over the different states, and people saw them. And even in Wisconsin, what happened was they caught one of these meteors or whatever they said it was that was flying through. They caught it on the camera on the tower for the weather or whatever. They saw it and they looked for the boom, but there was no boom. Like they was like, oh my goodness. So there was never a boom, none of that. But after that, the trumpet sounds started happening all over the world. People were freaking out. People were calling the police. No one knew what the sounds really were coming from. Many people started saying it was cause of fracking or whatever. They blowing up stuff under the ground, it's shifting of the plates or whatever. But that was a lie. They had people hiking in the wilderness, literally hiking in the wilderness, that was hearing trumpets, like somebody blowing a horn. And hikers was stopping and taking out their cameras and just freaking out. And then, just like it came, it went away. Right? So after that, we start having all kind of other things going on in the earth, right? Just a lot of things, the weather, the this, the that. It just stuff started going. Then we had COVID, and all these people died, right? Now we getting ready to experience one of the greatest phenomenons that you and I would ever witness in our lifetime, which is a total eclipse or lunar or whatever is for like 4 or 5 minutes is getting ready to take place. They've been broadcasting it on, different things around Milwaukee. We've been watching it, seeing it. And what's going to end up happening at that time, if you look at it, there's a certain type of, it's an insect that is actually going to get released in the earth, or they've been asleep. They've been asleep. So now they're about to wake up, and they're gonna affect the whole like southern area from St. Louis to Louisiana down, all just the whole southern tip down. It's gonna affect them, and there's gonna be a lot. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And they're kind of like, they say they kind of like resemble locusts or whatever, and different things and everything. So where are we in this biblical term? And that's why I would love for these biblical scholars and prophets and pastors who study the end time like that to come on and jot down, tell us what's happening, in this world. God spoke to me and told me, man, that kind of sounded weird, didn't it? When people say that God spoke to me, like, bro, you got a direct line to God, But let me say this: the Holy Spirit revealed this to me by the way of God. Said that this is the year of government, right? This is the year of government, and government is gonna change as we know it. He gave me timelines, like it was from 2025. I'm dearly waiting for 2025. Like really, 2025 is the year that I believe, and I know things are gonna just shift. Stuff is just gonna happen instantaneously. The government is not gonna be like it is, and all that. So we need to prepare ourselves for what's gonna come, right? You remember during COVID? I want to share this. COVID, they said don't go out. They gave us the 6 feet rule. I'm like, whoa, 6 feet. Ain't that the same depth that when you bury a body, right? 6 feet, keep that distance, right? So I'm like, okay, so now we're gonna keep that distance, whatever. But then they did something that was remarkable. They released so much money to us. They released a lot. people had extra. I mean, extra, extra, right? They had more than extra. They had more than enough. You remember, it talks about the year of the Lord, the 7 year, the release when God like comes and you guys, everyone, the government supposed to like get rid of everybody debt and everything, and you supposed to start fresh and stuff. And they gave us all this money. They gave us stimulus check after stimulus check after stimulus check. They gave the ones who were getting food stamps, and they gave them extra. People had extra. And from extra, we went to inflation. And now we're trying to balance out the inflation, right? So, but what's really coming? I'm going to share this. It is so messed up right now that the food we eat ain't even real. That's crazy. When I was a young boy, I used to sit on my porch on Flood Street and think how much I like chicken. And if you heard the sermon from yesterday, I took it off. I'll just give them a little bit of it. I took it off. You have to be a subscriber to get the whole thing. But I was literally wondering when I was a kid, if everybody eating all these chickens, who raising them? That's how I was thinking. Like, who raising all these chickens? Like, literally, they got people was eating a lot of chicken and a lot of hamburgers and stuff. But that was me back when I was a kid. But what I really thought about, now is like, what we really eating? Like, for real, what's really going on in America, man? If you look over there in Israel and what's going on in that region, you see that there's a starvation going on now, right? But it's because of the war. And I believe a lot of the things that is protruding in the world is not what it seems. I'm not gonna be the first to say it. I believe it's distraction. I believe it was the distraction for Russia to invade Ukraine. I believe that was a distraction. I believe it was distraction for the Palestinians or whoever they were to invade into Israel and kidnap and whatever. And now Israel is just going on and eradicating everything and everyone. I think it's all distractions, right? I think it's all distractions. And distracting us from what is the key? What are they really distracting you from? Because you got to remember, we're getting out of COVID. They gave us all this money. We came from the trumpet sounds and all the other things. There's stuff that's going to happen in the over our heads in the heavenlies. And I believe all of this is a distraction so that we would just look at this right here. But I believe they all doing something else over here. Like, real talk. I believe they building something, doing something else over here that we can't see. Because we so distracted by the noise right here. And that's why we have to pray, family, and have discernment what's going on in our government, what's happening all around us, right? I told them before about the time of what's going to happen with the spiritual. That's why I did manifestation. Things are going to start manifesting. Your words are going to start manifesting quicker than anything. You're going to be able to pray for something and you're going to be able to see it. The true worshipers. So the ones that are true, you're going to be able to see it. You're going to walk into a season where folk going to think you some type of freak, supernatural, whatever, because you're going to be able to tap in so keenly and say things and believe things, and it's going to come so fast that everybody around you going to look at you and think that you're not right. You're not right. You know, but truthfully you are, and you're literally going to be walking in the steps of God that God wants you to walk in, right? And that's why there's so much dialogue to try to people trying to become woke and everything is simply because of the supernaturalness that's already in us, and it's like polluting everything. And but I'm gonna tell you, don't get polluted by all this stuff that you seeing, different things on Twitter and Instagram, and different preachers and speakers of, that really don't believe in God. They believe in a higher power, right? And they're gonna say to you, because you black, you serving the white man God. They're gonna tell you all this, and they're gonna get you all just chopped up. Like some of you gonna switch sides, right? You're gonna be like, you know what, you right, yeah. But we already know, I know, people know that is, I know that is a form of spiritual attack, right? Now, when we come to talking about the God we serve, I'm not serving the God that the Vatican serve. I'm not serving the God that the Vatican serve. I'm not serving that God. I'm not serving the God that they put on the wall, Jesse, right? I'm serving the true and living God, right? I don't know who they serve. Real talk. I don't know who they serve. But I know who I serve, right? How they taught us how to worship, I know that's not how we should be worshiping, But I do know that we need to worship in spirit and in truth. I do know that, right? Coming together, what it should have looked like. I know that when we came together as a people, it was because we were in slavery, right? And that was the time that we can meet. And that time that we met was like in the evening after they got out of the field. I do know that, right? And they went and they sung hymns and songs and things that they might have heard. And they actually bought songs that they bought with them, but they still worship their God, right? So when we start getting their God information and the Bible and blah 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 and the mixture, but let me tell you something, it ain't take nothing away from who you really are as a being created by the Most High, right? You're spiritual. This word right here, this Bible, man, there's truth all in this Bible. This whole Bible is truth for me. I'm not a partial believer. I'm an entire believer. But I also know that there's some things that is held from me on purpose because they don't want us to know. But there's something that they cannot hold back from you and I, and that is our connection with God. Real talk. That when you keen in spiritually, when you stop taking the oppressed meal, the suppressed meal, then your mind will become open spiritually. You'll start hearing and seeing it, what it is. There's a suppressor, not the oppressor, but the suppressor that's been loosed in the land to suppress you, meaning to close you up spiritually, so therefore you can't see it. You can't see spiritually. And that's why they give us all this adjectives and food and chips in the hood and things and all this other stuff that they give us, because it keeps us suppressed. I'm a video game player. Like real talk, I love to play. Matter of fact, I've been playing this one game for like 9 years. I mean, man, I'm heavily invested in it, right? I'm not that good, but I'm heavily invested in it, right? So in this game, you're a certain race of people or whatever, and you have a certain ability from the light. You get this power, right? And when you charged up, you get to do extraordinary things that you could not do before, right? So when you're in battle, what the enemy found out is that you're so powerful that he had to do something to suppress your abilities. So what he did, he created this ball, right? This little purple ball. And what happened, they would throw these things at you and they would suppress you, meaning that your energy level will go down. Your power level would go away, and it will last for a moment and you have to keep moving, or if you stay right there, you would die. That's how it is in the natural, that the enemy is literally suppressing us, that many of us are dying, like literally dying. I'm talking about dying, like leaving this world. And the ones that are suppressed and keep moving, we fighting our way through the suppression, right? Not the oppression. I ain't talking about being oppressed. I ain't talking about the master, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about the warfare where the suppression is upon you, where you can't even begin to utilize your spiritual ability. And matter of fact, the suppression first started in written word, where they had to make it legal to talk about how to suppress your spiritual abilities. Why? Because you was already superhuman, supernatural, doing some stupid things. You know what I mean? That's why when you see basketball players, football players, and they whole physique begin to change, and they start doing stuff like, wow, man, they jumping, they doing crazy stuff. Now watch this. They don't eat everything. They do not put everything in their body. And I have to learn that piece. They don't eat everything. Real talk. They don't put all this stuff in there. They ain't doing all this. That's why they're capable of doing things. Now imagine this. That if you didn't eat everything, but yet and still, if you didn't eat all this and now you capable of hearing where you could not hear. You're seeing what you could not see before. You're walking in a supernatural divine way where you could just hear it, right? I'm gonna get ready to jump off here in a minute, but I want to leave you with this. I don't think I have my glasses in here. I can't read good without, man. The light is so bad. So listen to this. The Daniel fast, right? Is based on the biblical account of Daniel, who abstained from certain foods for a period of time as a form of spiritual discipline. Now watch this. The Daniel fast typically involves eating only fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, while avoiding meat, dairy, refined sugar, processed foods. So what would happen if you did this daily? Not as a fast, but as a lifestyle. Not I'm not talking about I'm just going on the fast guy. I'm gonna do the Daniel fast. I'm gonna do this for 30 days, and then all of a sudden on the 31st day I'm going to the buffet. I'm like, what's the purpose of the fast? But what happened if this was your lifestyle? What would happen? What would happen when Daniel went on the fast, everyone that was with him, spiritual eyes opened even more. It's ironic that they left this in here. It was something, they gave us everything, so we have to really keen in, like, okay, how we should live, how we should eat. This is it right here. This is it right here. And guess what would happen? Your spiritual mind will open up. Because now, all the processed food you eat is just to keep you oppressed, suppressed, confused, angry, sleepy, mad, frustrated, emotional. They put so much stuff in our food, all this hormonal, whatever it is, all this stuff. We get the feeling all kind of ways, I'm not going to get into that piece, but man. But we go eat wherever we want to eat, and eat what we eat. I guess nobody want to get on tonight and talk to me and share anything about their ministry or anything like that. I guess they kind of afraid from Friday night. Don't be scared. It ain't like that for real. Listen, guys, I got to jump off. I got to go. I got some people waiting on me online here. And I want to encourage you guys to stay in the light and the love of God. And matter of fact, watch what you eat. Watch what you eat. Don't just let it be for a moment. Let it be for a lifetime, because we're going to need spiritual individuals in this end time. Right? We're going to need some spiritual warriors in this end time that's going to be able to hear, see, speak, flow in the prophetic, flow the word of God out of their mouth. We're going to need you to walk in divine healing, the divine purpose of God. We're going to need you. And that's why you see such a calamity in the inner city. Not nowhere else. I mean, you ain't finna see calamity nowhere else. You're not finna see calamity nowhere else. You're gonna see calamity, suppression, along with the oppression in the inner city. You're not gonna see it nowhere else. You don't see it in the outskirts. You only see it in the inner city. The most spiritual individuals there is on earth is always suppressed and oppressed. And when we wake up, it's on and cracking, family. It's on and cracking. But we got to wake up. We got to wake up. We have to wake up. I'm praying that we wake up and move forward. All right. I got to hit it. I got to go. I love you guys. Until the next time, blessings.